Hey everybody, welcome to History Things with Pat. I'm here with Matt Wedd. He's a historical interpreter here at Fort Frederick State Park in Big Pool, Maryland. And he's going to tell us a little bit about the history of the fort and its experience during the French and Indian War.
Okay, so Fort Frederick construction begins June of 1756. Governor Horatio Sharp of the British colony of Maryland wants a strong stone fortification on the western frontier. It's needed because we're fighting the French and Indian War and we are losing. The French are based at Fort Duquesne, which is Pittsburgh today, Pennsylvania, but at a time of major French fortification. And a year before we're built, which is in 1755, a major battle was lost by the British along the Monongahela River, General Braddock's army. His army retreats to Philadelphia, leaving the frontier open for counterattacks, which again leads to us. Fort Frederick, a strong stone deterrent to stop those attacks from happening. The fort has 4 bastions, which today are empty, but those bastions, those points of the fort, should be filled with earth and wood. Those 4 6-pound cannons here, 200 Maryland provincial regulars. The intention to have those elevated with a cannon and 15 men on each corner means a lot of crossfire, and so no attacks here at the fort. The fort's primary role as well as being a deterrent is to be a base to attack from. These Maryland regular soldiers garrison the fort are patrolling up to 50 to 100 miles away, and by being out, by presenting a military presence elsewhere, it pushes Indian raids back further. The fort has 3 interior structures historically, 2 enlisted men's barracks, east and west, each to hold 100 men, and a 3rd building along the north wall to hold the governor's house, which is a fancy name for our captain's quarters, lieutenant's quarters, ensigns, and our grand hall for the officers, grand hall, and then storehouse and armory too. Unfortunately, our grand hall, our governor's house, was not restored like our barracks were, so today we portray those spaces on the bottom floor of one of the barracks. It's garrisoned from 1756 to 1759. Not a long time, but in that time it does its job. The Maryland soldiers are ranging on the offensive. In 1757, we have 62 Cherokee warriors come here from the Carolinas. They teach the men to fight in the native manner. So our red coats cuffed in black, our British-style accoutrements do change to the end of the war into our men described as brisk woodsmen. The Maryland regulars join the British army of General Forbes in another attempt to take Fort Duquesne, and that British army is successful. Fort Duquesne is abandoned by the French, Fort Pitt is built on remains, and Fort Pitt puts Fort Frederick out of a job. So in 1759, no longer a war frontier, the Maryland Assembly disbands the troops here and they leave. So short usage, not a lot of big history here, but the men here are involved in engagements elsewhere, they're involved in battles elsewhere. And for the fort today, it lets us talk more about the small life of a colonial soldier during the time period.